Hello everybody, Budleyneck here. I gotta thank you guys so much. We recently hit 2,000 subscribers, and that went so quick from 1,000 to 2,000. And honestly, I owe it all to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you. Today's shout out goes to Grant Stitch. Thank you for the kind words, and I am gonna do my very best to keep up with the good vids. Alright you guys, we have 5 Forge 115 mods that add over 40 cool new mobs to the game. We better get busy if we're going to get to them all. The Rotten Creatures mod adds 8 new types of zombies to Minecraft, and some of those even have a few different variants also. The Frostbitten zombie appears in snowy biomes, and there's a small chance that he can appear as a baby version. His attacks can add the freeze effect, which make you unable to move, jump, or even open your inventory. Another new mob you can find in these snowy areas is a Rotten Eskimo. There are 3 variants. He can spawn with a wolf by his side, empty-handed, or with a spear. Every time you hit a Rotten Eskimo, he has a chance of dropping raw cod. His attacks apply slowness 2 to the player unless he has a spear. If he has a spear, then he applies knockback. There are 4 different variants of the Undead Miner. There's A, B, C, and M. A, B, and C can be found anywhere underground in caves, and M can only be found in Badlands. You can tell the miner's rank by the pickaxe that they're carrying, and their drops are based off of their rank, all the way up to even possibly dropping diamonds. Swampy zombies can be found in swamps. Their attacks apply blindness and poison. They do have a baby version, and when they die they have a chance to leave a poison cloud behind. Mummies are a rare spawn in desert biomes, with an ancient version being even more rare. Their attacks apply Hunger 3. When they're tracking a player, they have a chance to spawn a beetle or a flying beetle, and when they come to their end, they always spawn a couple beetles. Deadbeard is an extremely rare spawn in beach biomes. When his health is low, he'll take out a TNT barrel, and you have 5 seconds to beat him before he explodes. If you do manage to beat him in time, you'll get his TNT barrel and a treasure chest as a drop. When Deadbeard moves, he has a chance to spawn zombie pirates or skeleton pirates. Depending on how far along you are in your Minecraft world and how good your gear is, this can be a really fun and challenging fight. Next up we have the Immortal Zombie, which I would say is by far the hardest fight out of all of these. He can spawn anywhere in the overworld during a thunderstorm, except biomes where it can't rain, like a desert or Badlands. He can convert regular zombies into zaps, which are significantly harder to fight than regular zombies. This is almost like a boss fight right here, you guys. If lightning strikes him, his health is restored. He applies channeling effect whenever he hits a player. He can perform a dash attack when his attack ends, which also restores his life. And when his health is low, he just sort of spams lightning all around him, and he speeds up. However, if the thunderstorm stops during a battle, he loses all of his powers, and red particles will show around him. This is one that you definitely want to make sure you're geared for. Here I tried it with no gear, just the diamond sword, and yeah, it's definitely not easy. And finally, we have the Burned Zombie, which you can find anywhere in the Nether. He can set players on fire when he hits them. When his health is low, his strength and speed increase, and he gets knockback resistance. He has a couple variants also. If he touches water, he turns into an obsidian burned, and there's a very rare chance of him spawning as a crazy burned. This mod adds quite a few other cool features, such as different versions of rotten flesh that have different effects, and I really love how each mob has its own little quirks about it. These are some very cool mobs that are very well thought out, and yeah, these burned zombies don't like the rain. The Conjurer is a new magician-inspired illager mini-boss. He can be found in theaters, which are new structures that you can find in roofed forest biomes. Each room of a theater has multiple variants, so every theater that you find has a chance to be a little bit different than the last. The audience in theaters can be made up of pillagers, vindicators, occasionally a witch, and if you're really lucky, an illusioner might come to watch. This will make the Conjurer's fight a little different every time. Once you clear the room and actually make it to the Conjurer, he's got quite a few tricks up his sleeve. He can summon killer bunnies, he's got a bouncing ball attack, a throwing card attack, and he can disappear and reappear somewhere else in the room. If you're able to defeat the Conjurer, he'll drop his hat, which will prevent any bad omen effects when worn. He also drops 2 to 4 emeralds, and you are able to dye the band of the hat to whatever color you like. Sully's mod adds 22 new mobs to Minecraft. That's a lot of mobs to go over, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm just going to try to hit on each one a little bit and go over any kind of unique little features about them. You'll find fairies floating around your world, and if you right-click them, it will set the time to 0. This is a very cool way to skip the night. Nautilus spawn in deep oceans and deep warm oceans, and when you kill them, they have a chance to drop small broken shell pieces, which you can then upgrade into Nautilus shells. Hermits are underwater mobs that spawn in rare structures. They can drop a hermit claw, which is a new weapon, and they also have a very small chance of dropping broken shell pieces. Marine iguanas are friendly mobs that spawn on stone beaches and stone shores. Jellyfish spawn in deep frozen oceans. They seem friendly, but if you get too close, they will attack you. Piranha are a rare jungle spawn. If you kill them, they have a chance at dropping a piranha tooth, which at the moment doesn't do anything yet. Sharks are neutral sea creatures that spawn in deep oceans and deep warm oceans. They won't attack you unless you attack them first, but they will attack boats and fish and squid. Zombie sharks are aggressive sea creatures that spawn during the night and are always aggressive to the player. They're also aggressive to other sharks, fish, and they'll attack boats too. They're just mad at everything. Alligator snapping turtles spawn in the swamp and they hide in the water until the player comes close. Then they'll jump out and attack you. They attack boats also, and when they die, they can drop pizza. That's a Ninja Turtles reference there. Cowabunga, dude. Tortoises can be found in birch forests, jungles, and savannas. They're very slow, and you can sit on them. There are 3 types of birds that you'll find just flying around your world. They don't really do much, they just fly around, they add some ambience, a nice sound, and when they die, they can drop feathers. Scarabs are fast insects that spawn in the desert or in the infested pyramid structure. They can drop a scarab eye when they die. Flying scarabs are just the same, except they can fly. There are 3 variants of goblins. There's the goblin, armed goblin, and the goblin brewer. They mainly spawn in new goblin structures, but they can be found in quite a few biomes. They're aggressive mobs that not only attack the player, but will also attack passive mobs that are nearby. An interesting thing to note, though, is that hermit crabs do not like goblins, and they will take care of the goblins for you. You can also get the goblin dagger as a drop from goblins, which is a pretty powerful weapon. It's not bad at all. Next up, we have the dwarves, the dwarven miner, and the dwarven demolitionist. The miner is the melee variant and the demolitionist is the ranged variant. I gotta say the miner, pretty easy to take out. The demolitionist, you better either try for ranged attack on him or make sure you have gear because he throws boomsticks, which are dynamite, and they can be pretty rough. If you do manage to take them out, they can drop boomstick and the dwarven mining helmet, which when worn will give you slowness 2 and night vision 2. Mimics are really rare mobs that spawn as a block that looks just like a chest. But when you right click it, touch it, or interact with it at all, the block will spawn a mimic. The mimic is a really strong enemy that will sometimes drop a diamond when killed, but most of the time it'll just drop a chest. And last but not least is the Witherling. I had to surround this guy in barrier blocks because I couldn't get him to sit still. The Witherling is a rare nether mob that acts just like a little wither. It's a little bit weaker, it can't do as much damage, and it can't shoot as far, but it acts just like the wither. It'll shoot other mobs, it will damage blocks, and when you kill it, it drops a wither rose. Miscellaneous Additions is a vanilla-style mod that adds a lot of stuff to Minecraft. We're focusing on the mobs, and it adds 6 new mobs to the game. Frogs spawn in swamp biomes, and when you kill them, they can drop frog legs and slime balls. Next up, let's take a look at the grizzly bear. He's very hostile and he spawns in forest biomes. If you manage to win a bear attack, they can drop leather and cod. The skeleton bandit is a hostile mob that spawns where lost treasures can be found. They're armed with a poisoned iron sword and they do carry some treasure on them. They also drop charred bones, which we can then process into charred bone blocks. We're going to need those to summon the next mob, which is actually a boss fight. The Nameless One is the magical skeleton boss from Minecraft Dungeons. This is pretty much like the Wither fight. He attacks mobs, he breaks blocks, but if you are actually able to take him out, he'll drop the Corruption Staff, which is a pretty amazing ranged weapon. The Nether Phantom is a pretty common mob that you're going to find in the Nether all over the place. They are pretty much just a Nether version of the Phantom, and when you take them out, they drop Nether Eyes. Nether Eyes are pretty cool. They're just like Eyes of Ender, except they will show you the direction to the nearest Nether fortress. And last but not least, we have the Magma Creeper, which is a Nether version of the Creeper. When it explodes, it shoots flames all over the place, and it catches everything on fire. I know this video is about mobs, but I just had to show this feature of Miscellaneous Additions. They add cobalt ore to the game, and with that you can make cobalt dust. And cobalt dust is redstone that can go underwater. The Corgi mod adds tons of corgis to Minecraft. 15 so far. Some of them are pretty similar, like the business and the bodyguard here. That little black dot on the ear is the only difference I see. But I think there are corgis to fit every personality, and they say they plan to add more corgis. They also say they may give some of the corgis special abilities, which would be pretty cool, like the radioactive and the hero corgi. I could see those guys having some pretty cool abilities. They've even got a creeper corgi and a zombie corgi. Right now, the creeper corgi doesn't seem to work very well, but the zombie corgi, pretty much exactly like a zombie. Corgis seem to spawn wherever wolves would normally spawn, and they behave pretty much exactly like wolves. They'll go after sheep and rabbits, and they'll fight off mobs that attack you once you tame them. And you tame corgis with baked potatoes. Whether you're a dog person or not, these things are pretty adorable. They make me want to get down on the ground and just play around with them. And that was the last mod for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you so much for watching and for sticking around to the very end. Take care of you guys. Keep playing. Keep having fun. We will see you guys next time. Bye.